Shoshogimasu! Hey guys, this is TWC from TWC Group. I was gonna do a live commentary, but the sound sounded terrible, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you this replay. It'll allow me to get some good close-up shots of the action. I'm going up against a Fall of the Samurai avatar, so I'm expecting him to have a lot of rifles. And I'm bringing an entirely melee army with half cavalry, half infantry. And pretty much all of my infantry are spears. I'll show you in a second here one of those. So to start off, I've got Naginata attendants up front to soak up the damage of what I expect him to have rifles, but we'll see in just a second. Then I've got some Yari Samurai, Long Yari Ashigaru, Marathon Monks, and Lone Sword Ashigaru. Now these guys basically are just a distraction to get up front into their face, hold these infantry units in position, while the real killer of my army, the cavalry, my veteran cavalry of Yari cavalry and Katana cavalry, and some fire cavalry, are going to do the real damage here. So you can see all my veteran cavalry massing for an attack on his left flank, my right flank. And first I'm going to capture this workshop here, and then I'm going to go ahead and just book it across the river to head straight for his troops to engage, while the cavalry try to come in from the side. Now obviously it's not going to be easy. I can see he's got spearmen here, Kyoto police, and Yariki. I suspect he has troops in the forest, but let's take a look at his troops that he has already out. He's moving up his general's bodyguard to try to take some pot shots at my dudes. Not too worried about that. So he's got a lot of spearmen and shogatai, which are good in melee combat, and even more Kyoto police, which are like levy spearmen. And so, oh, and he's only got 2 units of rifles, these white bear infantry right here. And so here I suspected he's got units, and there he reveals them here. So I try to attack, and then I back off because I see them as a reflex, and then I realize I can take him, and I head him straight on. Start the First Blood cavalry engagement. My Yari cavalry versus this Yariki and Naginata warrior monks. He immediately reinforces with these spear levies, which kind of had me a little bit worried, so I reinforced with my Katana cavalry. And my general, who is a melee general. He's got really good melee stats. So he counters with even more of his cavalry, just adds to the huge carnage. And even more spear units. These spear units get me a little worried, because obviously spear units are good against cavalry as he charges in here. But I realize once he gets into the fight, as long as my guys can hang on to the fight, I can just attack him from behind, and that's exactly what I do. And so far, this is all the action on the battlefield right now, this huge cavalry engagement. He tries to send in more spear units. I simply do the same thing. I get my veteran Katana cavalry down here, and we'll see the outcome of this charge. His forces are quickly mopped up by my veteran cavalry. He tries to bring even more spears, but I'm just going to go ahead, back out. I don't need to lose any guys. And what's been going on over here is my infantry have basically just been chasing him back, or chasing his cavalry away. And now they're in a position to where they can just charge head on. My honorable samurai are going to duke it out with the shogatai. Get some pretty good close-ups here. And now his white bear infantry are firing into the backs of his own men, which are killing mine, but they're killing his too. And that's making his guys waver. In the meantime, I've swung my cavalry around I've engaged his spear units with my infantry, and I've swung around my cavalry to exploit any weaknesses he has. Which right here, I can see a gap in this line. I'm gonna head straight for it. Ooh, would not want to be one of those guys right now. Over here I see he's trying to reinforce, help his guys out, but I'm not gonna let that happen. Oof. These Shogutai are tough, but they don't stand a chance against my veteran katana cavalry. Although they are taking casualties. Over here, the melee fight keeps going on. These guys are staying in the fight pretty long, considering they're going against veteran samurai units, and they're not really meant for melee, as obviously as you can see. That guy gets his head cut off. They're still in the fight, though. He brings his general up to put some fire onto my guys, which could have an effect, because these guys aren't very. Their morale is just steady. And I can see they're wavering now after that volley. So I've got to do something to silence this, to keep his general out of this. He's pouring accurate fire down into my spearmen. Although I think the rest of my samurai will stay in. So I finally am able to charge him with these Yari cavalry. Take a few of them out before he runs. And now the battle swings into my favor. The only remaining pocket of troops left are these Kyoto police, which won't stand a chance against the remainder of my forces. And his general, it's broken and routing like a whipped dog.
A glorious victory will soon be yours.
And that's the battle. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the close-ups. Tune in next time. I'll have some more Shogun 2, Rome Total War, or some other Total War game. Some other game that'll be interesting, I'm sure. Until next time.